Hello. So I'm going to show you how to do this edge for a blanket. This is my Lacy border edge, and I think I may do the blanket in this now. I had done this, which is my frilly border edge, and done a video, and I was going to use it. But I've decided I had to develop my own border edges because there really aren't any. I can't find any on Loom knitting on YouTube, and almost everybody seems to be crocheting their borders, and I wanted to loom knit. So I did my first one, which is the owl eye edge border, and now I want one for this pinwheel blanket that I designed. So well, I didn't design the construction, only the stitch used in it. It's the old pinwheel needle knit version, except I'm done for the loom in my owl eye stitch. And so I've come up with a couple new ones, and this one, which I've already done the video on, is a thinner frilly one, and for when you want that kind of delicate look. This one is not as thick as my owl eye one. It's sort of in the middle, so it's a more medium type of edge. It will help to control curl and give you this more of a lacy style for something that you want more of a lacy look. So I'm going to show you how to make this. And I did the blanket on a 3/4 inch gauge, this actual loom, and so I'm going to do the border on the same gauge. So it's 3/4 inch loom. It has 36 pegs, 9.75 inch diameter, but we only need 3 pegs. This is done with only 3 pegs. So you can do it on any loom that has at least 3 pegs in the gauge that you want. Now I'm going to get you to the point where I am here so we can continue on, but I'm going to have to show you how to cast on first. So I've got this little bit of yarn here, and we'll call this little orange marker peg 1. And so we just do a slip knot. I just do easy slip knots. I just do that, stick it through, and put it on, and tighten. And we want to cast on over 3 pegs. And so the way I'm going to cast on is I'm just going to put my my loom hook inside my working yarn inside the yarn, and then put the working yarn through. I can talk, really. And then put this on here and just tighten, and then I'm just going to go here and scoop the working yarn under it again. So loom hook in here like that, and scoop it up, and then just put it on the peg. So now we're cast on to 3 pegs. And so now all we're going to do is go behind here and wrap over and just knit it off. 1, 2, 3. And then we'd go over here and we'd be putting a piece of we'd be attaching to the blanket here to do the next stitch. So I'm just going to leave it here, and we'll carry on over there. So I'm in roughly the same place where I was there to do the wrap, and so that's what we do here. We go 1, 2, 3. And I'm doing it nice and loose because I want to have a nice loose border. There we go. And then I'm just going to hold this here, and we're going to go in, and we're going to pick up the next loop. Now let's take a look at the edge. Here's the edge, and on this edge we have all the places we're going to pick up, and they all have bars in between. And you're going to have you may not have the way I do my edges. You may have a different edge, but it's just the same way you would do a 10 stitch. Those are the stitches you pick up on the edge. And you can do this with any kind of border. You just have to find a place where you can pick it up and attach it to the loom. So I'm making these holes all a little bit bigger so you can see. These are all the places where you attach. There, so every place where you see these holes there, these are the stitches you put on. And if you need to, you can always put stitch markers in so you don't get confused. The next stitch we're going to put on, we can see this is the stitch we attached, because if you look close you can see that there's thread going through this hole here. So we've already attached that. So we're going to go across the bars to the next stitch and then just put it on. And then we're going to tighten it up a little bit because of course I did let it slack while I was showing you that. And we already wrapped this the 3 times, so we're going to come over and we're going to wrap this the 3 times. So we go over 1, and we take over both the loops here and what was on here. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go behind and wrap back here again. So we've gone all the way behind to peg 3, wrap over 1, 2, 3. At this point, to hold this so we don't have too much slack, and we go in and pick up our next stitch, and we can see that we're going through this one. So we're going to go to the next one right there, put it on, and we just go over the 2, 1, 2, and 3. And then back here, working yarn back, 1, 2, and 3. And then we go back down, holding this, picking up the next stitch, putting it on, going over 1, 2, 3. And we'll be going behind back to here, going over again 1, 2, 3. And that's all there is to it. That's it. That's what gives you this stitch, this lacy border stitch. And let's take another look at it. You can see what it looks like. Stretch is nice. It's nice and loose. It's keeping the blanket nice and straight. Move this, get this in so you can see it better there. So there it is. Laying there, looking very, very nice and lacy. And if you want to, you can pull it out a little bit, but it just comes out looking really nice already, just like that. And if you like to look at the other side to see what it looks like, let's turn it around. And this is what the other side looks like. That's got an interesting look to it. So there you go. And yeah, you're going to keep going all the way around the blanket, and then when you get here, this will be your last stitch right here that you pick up, and then you'll just be able to tie your 2 ends together. And if you want, you can probably tie them in at the top too, so they're more joined, and then just weave in your ends. As you can see, it's a really easy stitch to do. And the look I don't know. It almost gives you kind of a crochet look, doesn't it? Although I have never seen a crochet stitch that looks like this. It's kind of unique. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, you might want to know the yarn. The color is macaroon, and it's a Barcelona yarn, the Dulce variety. So, okay, until next time, we'll see you. Happy looming.